Howdy, 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 my gorgeous Taurus. How are you doing, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today I'm going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading, Taurus, for December 2022. Ooh, come on, darling. Fabulous. For December 2022, Taurus. So if you enjoy this tarot reading, let me know in the comments below how this is going to resonate with you. And also keep in mind, Taurus, when you are taking in your tarot readings, it's no different than astrology and checking out your horoscope. You want to cater the energy to your chart, cater your readings to your chart. And so check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign. If you're wondering why sometimes YouTube tarot readings don't really resonate with you, it might be because we're tapping into an energy for one specific placement in your chart. And if you want to support this channel completely for free, Taurus, I would appreciate it if you were to give this video a like and subscribe, because it does help me out quite a bit, darling. All right. And so I appreciate those who do that extra step to support me. All right. And so let's just get right into this here for you, Taurus. I see there's quite a bit going on for you here. We're going to just take these one by one here. All right, we're going to be starting out with the Page of Water, the Page of Cups, and Normal Tarot, Taurus. You'll notice that this is the card I was excited for, and I'll read it off the bottom. A new person enters your life, Taurus. A relationship begins a new phase and heightened psychic abilities here. All right, and so what I'm really excited about with this Page of Cups, Taurus, is that the Page of Cups, or the Page of Water, really represents like new people and new opportunity coming into your life. Pages represent overall just new energy. All right. And so at this time, what I really want you to be leaning into, if you're looking for direction, Taurus, if you're not really sure where to put your energy or anything like that into, I want you to be looking more so into creative pursuits. All right. That's where you're going to be getting the opportunities coming in. I feel like some of you as well, Taurus, are not really listening to your intuition about what you need to be doing. Or what you should be doing here. I feel like there's like, you're having like an internal battle, I suppose, Taurus, is how I'm initially seeing this, where it's just like you like intuitively you're being told something, but then like the funny human emotions complicate things. And, you know, maybe it's imposter syndrome, insecurity, darling, you know, that's your business, right? We don't need to put it on blast publicly, right, Taurus? But there is like this sense of where I feel like something's really blocking your intuition to really come through and help guide you into this new energy here. All right. Now, socially, I wouldn't be surprised if you come into some new energy. If this is the case for you, you'll know this because of this release card, Archangel Azrael. All right, number 13 equaling to 4 in numerology. So write that number down, Taurus, because in numerology, that number 4 has a message for you this week and something important. So check that out as well. When it comes to spiritual practices, if you are aligned with it, Archangel Azrael is the one reaching out to you this week if you want to work with them. All right, but your spiritual practice is your business, darling. All right, you don't have to. But this release card, the end of a phase or a situation in spiritual transformation, right? And it's time to move on. As I was saying, how this plays off with this Page of Water for you, Taurus, is that especially socially, like this gives me the sense of like you've recently had to let go of something, let go of a person, let go of like a way of life. You know, there's something that you had to release in your life, and you're in this process of moving on, starting like, I don't even want to use the terminology, Taurus, of like starting a new chapter. I really want to use like starting like a it's like you're going into like the next book, right? It's like a trilogy. I think that's what I was trying to say. It's like this new version of yourself. It's like, and I know this sounds a little bit corny here, Taurus, but it's like, I feel like December for you especially has been such a point of where it's like really pointing out to you the people's inconsistencies in your life, people who are not good for you and what have you. But also I feel like you have started to become a little bit self-aware, Taurus, about how would I say this, Taurus? It's like you've become very self-aware with this Knight of Air, or this Knight of Swords here, of where it's like you realize like you're about to be having like quite a bit coming down on you. All right. It's like you have a lot of moving parts going on. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling really inspired, but also really overwhelmed and not really sure what to do. I wouldn't be surprised as well. It's like, I don't want to say you're going through like I like to, you know, the midlife crisis term. I like to say a quarter life crisis, because I always used to do that because I'm like in my 20s, honey. So anytime I have my midlife crisis, this is my quarter life crisis. So maybe you're going through like a little bit of a quarter life crisis because of everything you've had to let go of. And I feel like there might be this sense of being overwhelmed, because as you're stepping into this new trilogy, the second part of your trilogy of your story here, I feel like there's this sense of being like, whoa, like there's so many different things I want to do. There's so many different things I need to accomplish, right? So this could be easily towards like a sense where it's like you have to release yourself of a toxic situation, whether that includes a person or not. But on top of that, it's like, because of that, what it is that you have to release, and then brought into this self-awareness where it's just like, oh, I really want to work on my skin, I want to work on my weight, I want to work on my creative projects, I want to start a new, like, you have all these new desires, because it's like almost as if like this previous book in your life, right? This previous chapter in your life really held you back from a lot. I don't know if this was because of like them in specific, or maybe you just got a little bit too comfortable in your comfort zone, right, Taurus? Again, I'm not trying to put you on blast here, Taurus, right? But I do see this sense, or just the strong desire and like really wanting just to do a lot. And then I think like in your head, you start feeling a little bit overwhelmed and be like, oh man, I want to work on my skin, but I have all these acne scars. How do I even, like, what is the first step, right? And then we go back into that message of the Page of Water, where we talk about your intuition, Taurus, where it's like you have all these desires stepping into this new energy, but then it's just like you're being held back from that. What I also want to be pointing out as well is that, Taurus, there's a court card here, right, with this Page of Cups. And so I like to explain this a little bit here, because, you know, sometimes in tarot readings, you're just used to always hearing that being like, oh, this new person's entering your life, da 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 da, right, Taurus? Well, as a court card, so the court cards are like your kings, queens, and knights, right? And is in specific, especially knights, when it's this usually can represent people. And so because you have these two cards side by side with one another, Taurus, this really amplifies this message of where it's like, I really wouldn't be surprised, you know, even though you might have released someone or you know, multiple people, Taurus, it's being quickly replaced by some new energy here, some new people coming into your life. All right, now air energy, it could be an air sign, but you know, I always say take it with a grain of salt, Taurus, when it comes to zodiacs in specific in tarot reading. So air signs would be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, or it might be someone that is just really exudes the traits of that. But yeah, this really amplifies this message here, excuse me, of this sense of where I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if you start having new people entering your life here. So let's start diving deeper into this here, Taurus, see what more detail we can get with this. Three of Swords on this release card of Archangel Azrael. All right, so definitely what you've had to release, Taurus, is just a really painful cycle. I wouldn't really be surprised if like what it is you released was like a really toxic person. Was it a toxic person, Taurus? If so, like, was this like a relationship? Was this like family or something? Let me know. Even afterwards, we have like a Knight of Swords coming in here, and then the Five of Wands as well. So all clarifying this release card, the Archangel Azrael. And so it's really interesting to me, Taurus, because it's like this reads off to me where it's just like you constantly had a lot of conflict with somebody or a situation. Like it kept on like stacking up to the point where it's like you sat there just like, okay, this is like too much for me. I gotta step away. I gotta release this, because this is just not bringing any type of positive emotion. Even afterwards, I'm just drawing from the back of the deck here, Taurus, if you're curious. So it's like even afterwards, you have the Eight of Cups, moving on from the situation because it just wasn't emotionally fulfilling you, right? And so again, I'm not going to delve too deep into this, Taurus, just in case like you are like in your head about this on some level. Whatever it is that you had to release from, you had to release it because it just wasn't good for you. And so, you know, you might be feeling guilty on some level where it's just like, oh, this person really liked me, or what, you know, whatever the story is here. But you're doing what's best for you, Taurus, ultimately at the end of the day. And so, well, yes, you have a lot going on, and yes, this is seemingly like overwhelming. You have to make a choice for yourself here. Don't feel as if you're being selfish or anything like that. You're making the correct choices meant for you ultimately here. Getting into this Page of Water, this Page of Cups, let's start clarifying this. We're going to go into both the social aspect as well as the opportunity as well, because I feel like both are relevant here. All right, and so we have the Page of Wands, Six of Cups coming in here, and then the Emperor card clarifying this Page of Water here. This is interesting to me here, Taurus. All right. This reads off to me, you know, the Six of Cups, this can represent something from your past, but it also can represent a sense of receiving like a gift or receiving like an offer. Emperor card coming in here. This is the person's energy I feel like that they're exuding at this time, Taurus. So very much so, very confident here. And then the Page of Wands. All right. Now, there's no card in here that immediately talks about romance, you know, and I don't really like to talk about if something's romantic or not. You know, I like to just focus in on just purely just the human connection, right? Because, you know, you can talk to someone without it having to always be about love, right, darling? And so in this dynamic here, I wouldn't really be surprised here if someone comes forward with some type of offer. I don't know if this was like during my pre-shuffle for you, Taurus, or not, but if I didn't vocalize it beforehand, I got like the sneaking suspicion of where it's like someone really wants to communicate with you, but they don't. Yeah, in fact, I think that was during the pre-shuffle because I don't think I said it in the video. Like there was like this, I got this sneaking suspicion where it's like someone wants to like reach out and connect to you, but they don't really know how. All right. And I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if someone starts building up the courage to approach you. All right. It might even be someone from your past as well, because we can't neglect the Six of Cups message on the first portion of it. But my regulars know, Taurus, I don't really like to sink on too deeply into past energy, because I feel like you moved on for a reason, right? The back of the deck is the Death card, and then the Five of Pentacles coming in here, and then the Eight of Swords, and then the Five of Swords. Like this all comes in, even the Hermit card. Darling, this all fits in. If you had a question, Taurus, at any point in time, like I know this is cuffing season, Taurus, I know this is the time where you might be in your emotions, you just want to get booed up for the holidays, honey, but truly, if you have been looking for a sign, Taurus, where it's just like, oh, should I take this person back? Is this is a divine sign for me to give a second or 20th chance, darling? This is a straight up message where, Taurus, they're just saying, don't be entertaining old energy. All right. So going into the opportunity aspect here, because there's another page at once, like, Taurus, are you like job hunting? Are you job hunting, or are you considering doing something that has you more so as in like an authority? Or, I also wouldn't be surprised if you get like a job offer or an offer to do something, maybe it's like writing a book, podcast, or something like that. Not me hitting myself or something like that, Taurus, that I feel like would be really good for you. All right. Whatever the case is, right? We talked about how the pages represents new energy. And then you have two different pages there. So you definitely have some new energy coming forward to you. Now, let's start clarifying this Knight of Swords real quick. Actually, I don't feel like we need to clarify that too much, Taurus, to be honest. I feel like we kind of fleshed out the messages there. I want to see what's manifesting for you, though, before I get into your oracle reading for today, Taurus. All right. So what is actively manifesting for you at this time? Two of Swords, Two of Air coming in here. So a choice. Taurus, I really feel like this is not like you. I feel like y'all are getting a little ahead of the curve here, where it's like you are really stepping into December. Like you're not waiting until the first of this year to make drastic changes in your life. That's what I'm like really noticing here. It's like you were brought forward to this crossroads, and this like you're making the choice and moving on to a new direction here. And I feel like the reason why you've been moving, like you're feeling drawn to moving on to this new direction here, is because I kind of hinted at it before if I didn't just flat out say it, Taurus, but maybe some of you guys had just, if we're going to be honest, maybe you have been in your comfort zone, a little bit too comfortable in your comfort zone, haven't been pushing yourself here. And I feel like for you, Taurus, you're like at this point with like really craving, be like, okay, this is a new, kind of the cliche, new year, new me, but you're getting ahead of the curve there. And then what's going to be happening? Two of Fire, Two of Wands coming in afterwards, right? Contracts, right? Twos in general seem to just be following you as well, which is interesting. If we pull another two here, Taurus, I swear. All right. I thought this was the two. And then the Eight of Water, the Eight of Cups coming in here. So this is really reinforcing this message here, Taurus, where it's like, it's necessary for you to walk away from a situation. I think I said it earlier, all right, where it's like, if you were feeling guilty about having to walk away or move on from a situation because it just wasn't good for you anymore, don't, because it's like you were sitting at this crossroads for such a long time. Like you really didn't want to move on from this person, this situation in your life here. And it's like your hand was finally pushed to that point. And it's like now that you're stepping into this new path for yourself, it's like a lot of new energy is going to be coming in. All right. The Page of Fire, the Page of Wands represents new opportunities, contracts, like all that really good stuff, Taurus. All right. So it's like, if you really have been craving change in your life, like this is, God, I can't. This is how you get that change to happen, Taurus. All right. So really, I'm feeling extremely optimistic, Taurus, about where your path is taking you. I'm feeling like really optimistic about it. A lot of changes, but really like it seems to be really good changes for you. It's like you're finally going to be able to really start living this next portion of your life being comfortable, being truly yourself, and like being exploring again. I don't know. I keep on getting like this sense of like whatever situation that you were in beforehand, you felt extremely restricted. Now let's get into your oracle reading for today, Taurus, right? You have the wolf spirit turning knowledge into wisdom, all right? Turning knowledge into wisdom. Let's get a clarifying card about this as well. The judgment card and then the ace of cups coming in here. Turning knowledge into wisdom. Turning knowledge into wisdom here. Taurus, I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit. I feel like for you, Taurus, it's like you've been through so much in your life here. And I'm not like, you know, none of these cards are like specifically saying she's like, oh, Taurus, like you lived a traumatic life here. But I'm noticing like this theme here where it's like you've been extremely in your head just about life in general here. And it's like, I don't feel like you realize just how much you've grown, or just how intelligent or how able you are. You know, maybe you're not book smart. I'm not calling you stupid, Taurus. You know, you could be extreme, you know, some of y'all are probably have doctorates or your own degrees here, but I feel like what I would best describe your energy as is someone that is extremely street smart, and it's from your it's the experiences that you've had up until this point and will continue to have, Taurus, really makes you like the full package, like an unstoppable force, if you choose to acknowledge that you are that unstoppable force. And so I'm not going to delve too much deeper into that because I feel like that's something that you need to just sit with your own thoughts about. But, you know, ultimately, I just want you to give yourself more credit. Like, you're not understanding like how much of the full deal package you are, whether it comes to doing, starting your own business, or whether, what you bring to the table for a relationship, a friendship. Like, you bring a lot to the table, Taurus, and it's okay to give yourself that credit. All right, getting into your moon oracle card for today, Taurus, you have the first quarter moon in Aquarius. Trusting the universe at this time, naturally, as you get out of your comfort zone, you're going to be feeling a little bit nervous, but ultimately your spiritual team is letting you know they have your back here. I even wanted to point out with the wolf spirit just beforehand, Taurus, where it's like, wolves travel in packs, darling, right? And so I wanted to add to that message beforehand where it's like, I feel like your spiritual team is actively with you, actively guiding you, which is a sign letting you know, Taurus, as well, that you are not making the wrong decision. And something else I want to be pointing out, darling, remember how I told you to write down the number 4 in numerology because of this archangel card? And you look at this wolf spirit coming in here, number 67. In old school numerology, Taurus, you combine all the numbers into one singular number unless it's a master number. And so 67 would equal to 13, which is then equal to 4. So 4 is definitely following you. So if you didn't beforehand, Taurus, I want you to open a tab right now and Google the number 4 in numerology, because there's definitely something of relevance in there. All right. Even if it's just the simple message is just letting you know that you are safe and that you are protected, darling, and you are not alone, as much as you might feel like you are. But that's the tarot reading that I have for you today, Taurus. I love you so much and hopefully I can connect to you sometime in the near future. Bye, darling.